Like Superior.
It's time for the GVSU Football Weekly Report with head coach Scott Wooster on the Allendale Sports Network. Your game breakdowns and previews with head coach special guests throughout the season. It's all brought to you by Berger Chevrolet, the official Chevy dealer of GVSU Athletics. Let's head on out to Main Street Club in Allendale.
Hi again, everybody. Welcome in. Grand Valley 1-0, fresh off a win there on Saturday afternoon. The victory 45-9 as they got it done over Lincoln University out of Pennsylvania. Great to have you with us on the show tonight. All brought to you by Berger Chevrolet, the exclusive Chevy dealer of GVSU Athletics. Here inside the Main Street Pub in Allendale, Coach. Good to see you again and fresh off the win and back at it this week, aren't you?
Yep. And kind of the structure of game week, right? And kind of love that part of it. You get back Monday off, game planning Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Get Thursday evenings with the best in the business here, Steve. Get a chance to sit down with you. So just getting in the flow of it, and we're right back at it. So excited.
Well, who we got coming up here tonight that we're going to talk with?
Yeah, so defensive coordinator, linebacker coach Jim Lewis. He'll be up, and then senior linebacker. Just having a great senior year, starting his senior year off so strong. Tommy Barnett.
That's right. So those two will be here live. We'll talk with them, and of course look back on the big win. I know a lot of positive things there to break down. Those two interviews. Plus, we're going to look ahead to your next opponent, Black Hills State. First time Grand Valley's ever played them.
Yep, and we're familiar with the RMAC, right?
Yeah,
we've had,
very familiar.
Colorado School of Mines, that contract, and then Colorado State Pueblo, and just some awesome games. So. Tremendous respect for that conference, and a really good football team coming in here Saturday night.
That's
Black
right.
Hill State.
616 night, vintage blue. You want to wear that coming up Saturday evening there at Lubber Stadium. So that's all ahead as we get started with the GVSU Football Weekly Report with head coach Scott Wooster right after this here on the Grand Valley Sports Network. We'll be right back. Seems like it hits. Well, that was Lynn Weichel, one of 4 grabs for him in the game. That a touchdown and 34 yards to his credit. Great job by LJ. Lakers win at 45-9, the final score over Lincoln University out of Pennsylvania. Great to have you with us tonight here on the show as we break it down. That victory for the Lakers, brought to you in part by Noara Brothers Home Store, bringing you top name brands at low prices, and by Earhart Construction, the official construction company of the Grand Valley Sports Network. So 45-9 openers, as we said last week, they're kind of in their own class, but a lot of positive stuff. Obviously, coaching points. But let's start with what you really liked out of this.
No, I think that playing relatively clean in the opener, what we talked about, the key to the game, right? And did not fumble the ball. We had 1 interception that, there's a lack of execution up front. And so defensively, we talked about not having a great idea what they're going to do, and I thought we made some great adjustments coaching staff-wise all the way across the board. Coach Lewis and the defensive staff, Coach Postma, Coach Cruz, Steve Roncelli, those guys, being able to make some adjustments based on we were going in a little bit blind. Offensive coordinator, new personnel set, and then offensively I thought we did some really good things. The touchdowns had a little schemed up, some motions that Coach Shue, Coach Olson, and the offensive staff kind of got some things there. And then I think just the ultra positives of 2 young quarterbacks, 2 guys that one guy really in his first action, his first start, the other one hasn't been out in a game for the last couple of years, has been in college football but hasn't played a game. And I thought Andrew Schuster played exceptionally well in that scenario, 80%. Like I said, 1 real major glaring mistake. Brady Drogosh comes in and does his thing. Played extremely well up front. We talk about winning up front. The offense and defensive line played very, very well, both in protection, running the football, and then defensively against the run. And then didn't have too many sacks because they had a plan to get rid of the ball pretty quick, but made our secondary's life easy because they were getting some great pressure and they were right there.
No, absolutely. Well, and staying with the offense, he had the balance of the run and pass. Yeah. Schuster looked very comfortable, really poised, which, I mean, not all true, freshmen, redshirt freshman would be in that situation, but he was. Sure. Walk us through kind of you guys, your evaluation in terms of decision making and all of that. He looked accurate. He looked like, other than the one delay a game, he was command of everything that was going on.
No, you hit it. You hit it. And the accuracy, being able to locate the football, there were some access throws that we were able to take advantage of. And when I say access throws, access to the boundary. And I think a couple times that one drive hit Donovan Johnson, and we got some down the field throws. And just being able to be ahead of the sticks all the time, right? And so from the game management standpoint, I thought he did a great job. Like you said, 1 delay, that he took 1 sack. But just in terms of commanding the game, did an extremely good job. And then just the accuracy, the location of the football. Coach Shue talks about hand selection throws, right? That you got great hand selection. If you can get great hand selection, then you can run after the catch. And just about every one of those throws, we were able to advance after the catch, and that's massive.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Well, by way of receivers, Kellen Reed, he had 4 grabs for 85 yards and a score. Donovan Johnson, his first touchdown as a Laker, part of 4 catches. Lynn Weichel, as mentioned, had 4. So those guys led the way, but you had like 7? Looks like 7 different receivers. Guys catching a football in this game. It's great.
No, and that's, we've got this mentality of the we all we got piece of it, the Ubuntu piece of it, and just everyone eats, right? And if there's a level of guys that are playing at a championship level, then you're going to get opportunities, and that was great to see, especially early on. Lynn Weichel gets the first touchdown. Kellen Reed, like I said, we get a 4 vertical concept with a little motion. He gets 1. Then Donovan Johnson, has made some big plays in the past couple of years for us. But to see him get in the end zone the first time, because his leadership has been extremely valuable to us. And just been that guy that's made those big plays. So to get him in the end zone early on was awesome.
Absolutely. Sion Usma-Harper, the top rusher for Grand Valley. He gets 83 yards in this game and a score. Derek Woods looked good. He had 47 yards on 6 carries. Kenneth Jones, 23. So you had guys getting some yardage on the ground. And, well, you look at it, too, the punting situation here, field goals, your kickers, your special teams. Trace Hergich averages, well, he had the one of 55, just the one punt. But Evan Sunderman, he gets one punt and he puts it inside the 20.
Just to back up a little bit on that running back deal, Sion Usma-Harper, but all of them. Pascal Jolman comes in, scores a touchdown. But, I think you can tell a lot about the culture of a football team when skill guys, what they do when they don't have the football, right? And I think that's something that, we talk about We All We Got. We talk about team, right? And watching Sion Usma-Harper lead block, a couple blitz protections, Pascal Jolman, all those guys. Kenneth Jones on special teams goes down there, recovers one, and then goes and essentially causes the next one. So he's running down on kickoff. So those are the type of things. Derek Woods had an opportunity to block a punt. So that's really, really exciting to me from a cultural standpoint of, Sion was awesome. Those guys were awesome running the football. So I got one out of the backfield, hit a couple spin moves, looked pretty sweet. But the overall piece of it. And then, the special teams basic leads us off, first opening kick about 9 yards deep in the end zone. Lined him up for a 54-yarder, just stretch it out a little bit. Yeah. And then he comes back, and, we got the mentality of 1 for 1, and he comes back and some good living, takes it off the upright. Yeah. And, Trace, limited opportunities, but took full advantage of them. And like I said, Sunderman puts it right on the 10. So those are the things, too. Opening games, week 0, special teams played extremely well. We had one penalty that, or 2 penalties on some KORs. I think, if we had it to do over again, we hit it just a slightly different. We don't get the holding call. We got a touchdown on that one. So very, very solid start and made some big plays in special teams, too. So, a lot. If this is the floor and we improve from here, really, 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 really exciting 2025, Steve.
Performance of the week presented by Trinity Health. We were talking about quarterback Andrew Schuster and the job that he did. He finishes up 17 of 21, 251 yards, 3 TDs, and 1 pick. So he's the guy, the performance of the week on offense. This week, we're going to do a little differently. We're going to guy on offense, guy on defense. I like it. Linebacker Jimmy Downs. Yeah. He led the way with 8 total tackles. Let's get that here. Jimmy, 8 total tackles. He had a sack, a couple of tackles for a loss. He was everywhere.
Yeah. No, and Jimmy really came on last year, right? Had to sit his sophomore year or 2 years ago with a hip injury, and then comes back and kind of has that breakout year. And he's a little bit worried about that, sophomore slump or that second year. Can you match that, that level of energy and that level of performance? And he set a standard for himself and our defense because he was just different, right? And looking big picture-wise, Schuster, Kellen Reed on offense, but Jimmy Downs, just the energy he plays with and the disruption he plays with, right? Like it's, people are going to have to start making a plan for 47. Where's he at? What's he doing? And on top of that, just the leadership, again, that he's provided, named one of our captains. And so not just on the field, but everywhere around campus, he's been outstanding for us.
Yeah, Hamas Duran, I thought, was a really good quarterback, especially week 1. You're trying to figure out what is Lincoln going to do. He was pretty solid as the game went. Your secondary is young, talented, but inexperienced. How did you feel like they held up against them?
Right out the gate, Josh Anderson comes off the hash, right? They're trying to get a free play and, just keep playing and gets the interception. I thought, Matt Nickens made a couple really nice plays in the open field, had a tackle in the red zone in the open field. He gets a pick later too, right?
Yep.
And then Trey Green, I thought played extremely well. He had one fade down the home sideline that just perfect phase, snaps eyes right at the right time and gets a PBU. And Trey Sharp comes in, gets a DPI a little bit overexcited, and then comes back, gets an interception. Deontay Pippin's another guy that makes just an absolute great hustle play. Now gets called back for holding, but he doesn't know that, and he's the field corner makes a tackle across the field. Quinn Wills played well. So Whiteside, he gets his first real action. So, yeah, some young guys, but made some plays, right? You know, it's not just being in good position, but got the ball back for us and, made some big plays. So that part is exciting. Not just, out there doing their job, but dominating, right, and being great in some scenarios. So that was great to see because we've talked about the youth and, the growth curve for our secondary.
How did you feel like, from looking at it from afar, the focus and passion seemed great. Did you feel like guys were dialed in as much as you wanted? Like there was a great focus for it?
Yeah, absolutely. No, and probably maybe a little bit too much. A couple of the 5-yard penalties that we've talked about last week, avoiding a couple of those delay of games were probably an overexcitement, an over celebration, an over joy for each other's success. So, got to kind of walk a fine line there that, we always want to be the most excited team to play every single Saturday. And the Mudita piece of it, like the joy for other people's success and to see the big plays and the celebration and the energy on the sideline. I thought, we got a bunch of guys in the camp T-shirts and shorts, our new blues, we call them, our freshmen out there. And I thought they were locked in and had a maturity about them in terms of being in the game. So, yeah, again, like the head coach piece of it, I don't call a play. The culture piece of it. When you see those things, playing hard, and felt like we weren't just playing the scoreboard. Third and fourth quarter, still running down on kickoff, still making some plays. The late punt there, playing hard, playing together. The Mudita piece of it, that part is really, really exciting.
Well, there were so many good things in this game. Coming out of it statistically, what kind of jumped out as maybe an area for improvement was penalties. But as you guys looked at film afterward, hey, it's interpretation of some of the calls. You felt like your guys, it really wasn't their fault. So what do you guys look at as a staff and want to improve on?
Again, there was some major execution flaws. One led to a turnover that you can't do that in those situations, right? And I think the other one, and this has been a theme, Coach Postma pulled some numbers last night, and we talked about in a staff meeting, but something that we've got to just overall get corrected is we're a very fast starting football team. I think it's a staple of our preparation all the way from January through August, but then Sunday night, Monday morning, whenever we get that thing started till Saturday, the week of preparation, the discipline equals freedom, where we go out and we start games extremely fast.
Yeah.
But the second and third quarter, we talked about the middle eight, a couple radio shows ago, but we're out to a 14-0 lead. We get a couple penalties. And just kind of that lull, right? And being able to dictate the momentum and get back on track and course correct. So that's one, major thing that we've talked about this week, but that's something that has historically been the last couple of years a fault of ours. And then coming out of the locker room, starting the third quarter fast, thought we did a good job. We jumped into some heavy personnel. Drogosh came in, gave a little shot in the arm in there in the third quarter. But those are two areas that we've got to go to work on. Just championship teams are able to, start fast, finish strong. But when it starts to lean the other way, they're able to course correct and get it back on track right away.
Yeah, right away. Well, our next segment, we're going to talk with your defensive coordinator, linebackers coach Jim Lewis. He's coming up.
No, Coach Lewis. And like I said, the credit to the preparation going into this game and then the adjustments when we first saw what they were going to do and what their plan was. And, again, this week we got a new OC coming in, so trying to get a pulse on him. So every morning driving to the Hosford Football Center, and there's a Silver Explorer there, first car in, and nobody prepares a defense better. Nobody calls a better game than Coach Lewis, and coaches those linebackers better. So, it's he's one of a kind, and I know it's a fan favorite here. So excited to get Coach Lewis up on the headset.
That's right. He will be here, and I'll talk with him coming up right after the break. Stay with us. More of the GVSU Football Weekly Report with head coach Scott Wooster. It's presented by Berger Chevrolet here in the Grand Valley Sports Network. Great to have you with us tonight. Steve Lloyd Jones back inside the Main Street Pub here in Allendale. Kellen Reed right there. 4 grabs for him. One of those, that touchdown, as the Lakers win it 45-9. Want to say a special happy birthday to one of our people in attendance here tonight at the show, Robin Lem. Her birthday here this evening. Happy birthday, Robin. Great to have you here as Grand Valley 1-0 now on the year with the win, and looking ahead to Black Hills State coming up as the opponent this Saturday night in Allendale. As mentioned, defensive coordinator, linebackers coach Jim Lewis, my guest. Coach, good to see you.
Good to see you, Steve. How's it going?
It's going well, and went well for you Saturday afternoon, but I know it wasn't by accident. But I got to start with, how in the world did you do that and get your guys prepared when there's very little information to go on?
Yeah, it's one of those things when you're preparing for an opponent, you generally like to have at least 3 or 4 games worth of content, and it was we had to do some digging. We didn't find out who the offensive coordinator even was until about a week before the football game. We had already broken down a lot of the previous year, and we're like, well, this probably isn't going to be the things that they do. And so we were able to scout it a little bit and have an idea what they would do.
Yeah.
But kudos to their new offensive coordinator. He came in and had a really good plan and made us make some adjustments in game flow, and that was it was good for our coaching staff. It was good for our players to be able to have to do that. And we have a saying that we want to be multiple yet simple, and so we do feel like we have enough things in our base defense, in our playbook, in our repertoire that we can get an idea what an offense is going to come out and try to do. And if everyone just stays true to their rules and to do their job, they have to have their eyes where they're supposed to be. So whatever formation they come out in, whatever motion they do, whatever play design they do, we should have everything handled and sound. So one of the better games and statistics that I've ever coached, we had no film, no nothing, and it was a ranked opponent, California, Pennsylvania. I was at St. Cloud State. I don't even remember the year. It was a long time ago. But, we held them like 100 yards of offense that game. We had no clue. Wow. We just went out there and ran like 3 base calls, and it was a good day at the office. So anytime you keep things simple, you allow your players to play fast, not think, and play free. No fear of failure.
Well, a tip of the cap to Lincoln University and their skill players. Hamas Duran, their quarterback, I thought was pretty solid, really, with what he stood in there and could, take pressure, take blitzes or heat, and be able to deliver the football well. Around Darius Gregory, the running back, was solid. And their receiving crew, they had some guys, Kyrie Tyson, Wayne Allen, and others. So there was some skill talent for you guys to have to contend with.
Absolutely. And also with having, everyone with the exception of Jason Hardy was new to the role they had in that game. Not a whole lot of meaningful playing experience in the defense. More special teams guys and or transfers. So, for us, it was good to get that from our first opponent. They had a level of not just competency but competitiveness that required our guys to be detailed in their technique and in the way that we go about our business. So, and yeah, I agree. Hats off to Hamas, their quarterback. He was a junior college All-American 2 years ago, but he had not played since 2023. So to be able to come in that environment, there was a lot of speed on the field for us on defense, and we were coming at him with a whole lot of different things, and he stood in there and I think only gave up 1 sack and got hit a whole bunch of times, but he was able to deliver the ball. So a lot of respect for him and that staff in the program. So
talking with defensive coordinator, linebackers coach for Grand Valley, Jim Lewis, our guest tonight at the assistant coach interview. This perspective presented by Fast Signs of Grand Rapids. Lakers winning at 45-9 over Lincoln University last Saturday. And had to make you happy as a linebacking coach. Jimmy Downs led the way, 8 total tackles, a sack, couple of tackles for loss. Talk about him, and he's been a quality player for a while, Jim.
Yeah.
But he's kind of emblematic of this team where guys that have been solid contributors now take on a much more significant role. Mm-hmm. And boy, was he ever
he had an electric game, and he's not a whole lot dissimilar to our guest tonight, Tommy Barnett. We have a deep crew of young men in our program, and it's not the exception. It's more the norm now that, it takes till your sophomore or junior, sometimes even your senior year before you're a major contributor, and that's something that we respect as a coaching staff a great deal, and that they're not just glue guys. They can be difference makers for you with that amount of repetition, that amount of coaching, that amount of hard work that went into it, and they have a whole lot of skin in the game, and Jimmy's one of those guys that, we saw a lot of promise in him. In his second year, he played in some sub package for us. Then he was hurt the whole next year. He didn't play in a game. He didn't practice one time, and then had a really, really strong sophomore season. And now he's playing with just a ton of confidence. And it's amazing is he only played in like 29 snaps, and he had a stat line that he had, and so really proud of him. He does have an awesome first name, and
great last name for football.
Great last name for football. Get him down. His middle name's Dale. We call him Jimmy Dale all the time, and so at the end of the day, he's just he's one of many awesome young men in our program that I'm so proud to call players, and I'm their coach. It's just awesome relationship that I have with these guys. So,
well, you have talent throughout your defense, maybe more experience in that front seven.
Right.
How did you feel like the secondary meshed with the guys up front? How did that go in their first game?
Well, and I hope some of them are listening to this. They probably are not. Damn proud of their effort, and they played hard. They played fast. They played without any fear at all. But they were just okay. There was a lot of small mistakes that are correctable, and I'm dang excited about the mindset they had this whole week. Coach Postma, just in the room teaching them, out on the field teaching them, and having such a high level of expectation, and they're going to be better, and we're excited for them to be better. And so it was a solid outing, but they definitely know that they missed some things out on the field that they probably could do better. And, we're excited for that.
Well, our final thought, I want to get to your input on the opponent this week as Black Hills State comes to town, and a good quarterback-wide receiver duo here you're going to contend with. Quarterback Luke Doobie, he completed 24 of 36 passes last week, 248 yards, 3 scores, and wide receiver TJ Chukwura caught 10 passes for 109 yards and 3 scores. So they can throw the ball.
Yes, they can, and they have our attention, especially in their perimeter at the receiving position. Their top receiver in this last game, he had more catches and yardage than he had in the whole 2024 campaign. And they have another young man on their roster that led their team. He had like 700 yards last year, and we don't know if he'll be back or not, but that brings another dimension to the table with a senior quarterback who has a lot of starts under his belt, and he's really good at hanging in the pocket, and he'll deliver the ball on time, and even with pressure be able to make accurate throws. So they have our attention, and again, it's a similar week in that we only have one game of information with a new offensive coordinator, and based on the tape and the things that they did a year ago, it is different enough where they're going to be able to add some wrinkles and some things to the table that, again, we're going to have to adjust to. So, fun fact about Black Hills, my second job in my coaching career was at Minot State University, and we were in the same league. So played them out there 3 different times. They came to Minot 2 times in the 5 seasons I was at that school. So we had some success against him back then, so hopefully that rubs off when the Lakers play him 20 years after the fact. So
there you go. All right.
Yes.
Well, it should be good. All right, that's Jim Lewis, the defensive coordinator, linebackers coach. Jim's going to stay with us. Our next segment, he'll be talking with linebacker Tommy Barnett, and that'll be coming up right after this break. This is the GVSU Football Weekly Report with head coach Scott Wooster right here in the Grand Valley Sports Network. We'll be right back. Continuing, as mentioned, inside the Main Street Pub here in Allendale. Great to have you with us. Our guest player interview segment for you, brought to you in part by Radco Apparel. Be proud to show off your brand. And by Flow Sports, where you can watch the GVSU Lakers all season long. As mentioned, defensive coordinator, linebackers coach Jim Lewis sticks around. He's going to talk with linebacker Tommy Barnett right now. Coach?
All right, Steve, thank you. I've been looking forward to this for a long time, TB. As I understand, Jim and Holly Barnett are back home in Wheaton, Illinois, listening in on this, so, or maybe even watching on the YouTube, so away we go. All right, I'm going to ask some just simple, quick starters for you, easy layups, and then I'll get a little bit trickier as we go, okay?
Let's do it.
Tell the listening audience, Tommy, where you're from originally.
I'm from Wheaton, Illinois. It's about 25 miles west of Chicago.
Okay, 25 miles west of Chicago. When people ask you where you're from, do you usually just say Chicago?
No, I claim Wheaton.
You claim Wheaton,
Loud
okay.
and proud.
And you know that's how a lot of people from the west, north, and south suburbs claim, right?
I'm aware.
Okay, cool. I always remind them Chicagoland. They're not South Loop, North Loop. They're West Loop.
Yeah.
Okay, away we go. Why did you decide on GV?
So yeah, as you know, my senior season was canceled due to COVID. I was super fortunate to get the offer to Grand Valley, and I came up to the campus when you guys were practicing with COVID. Everybody had the mask on, fell in love with it, and pretty much just decided to commit on the spot, and
Okay.
that was that.
Okay. Tell the listening audience, what is your major?
I'm a business major with an emphasis on sales.
So business, sales, and I know something unique about you. How many classes are you currently taking right now?
I'm in one.
Okay, so Tommy's in one 3-credit course, probably a layup in the business world for you. What does your future hold in terms of a career path? You know?
Medical sales.
Medical sales. And as I understand it, you already pretty much are gainfully employed and have a job waiting for you, right?
Yep, super fortunate.
Okay, as you should be. That's awesome, man. Okay, we're going to kind of dovetail into a little bit different conversation here. Give me your thoughts on your position coach.
Great guy. This is my 5th season with him, so obviously he's doing something right, but love him to death.
He's sitting right next to him, people, so you know, and he has to say these things. I appreciate that. What is it like to be coached by him?
It's intense. It's demanding, not demeaning, as you like to say. But, yeah, just obviously you know a lot about the game, so accepting that and listening to what you have to say is always going to put me in the right spot.
Okay. Anything off the field that Coach Lewis, I have taught you? Not on the field, off the field.
Off the top of my head, you are getting a little tricky. But, yeah, Coach Lewis always tells us to go up to our professors on day one, introduce yourself, shake your hand. So I've done that a couple times, and I've gotten good grades in those classes.
Very good. Learn how to be a suck-up. It'll help you in your medical sales profession as well. Absolutely. Know how to move and talk to people. Okay. What is your favorite part of being a GVSU football player?
Oh, the brotherhood through and through, and that's I've had obviously a lot of ups and downs in my football career, but just having those guys to lean on outside of the staff and everybody in there, and Riley Simpson, Griffin Shinrock, Cardamone, Jimmy Downs, just all these guys that I feel like I've known for a lifetime.
Okay.
But I've gotten to lean on.
Awesome. What is the hardest part of being a GVSU football player?
Just sticking with it, I guess. It's early mornings. Sometimes it's late nights on the road. But seeing a lot of people that you went to high school with and grew up with, living a little different college experiences, sometimes there's that jealousy factor.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I would say just sticking through it.
Okay. Something that maybe the people don't know that I do is that you're in your 5th year, and before really last year you didn't really have a ton of significant playing time, whether it be from depth, injury, or whatever. This is going to be a statement, then a question within it. Like as a coach, guys like you are the ones that we are ultimately the most proud of, that stick with it and do their thing, and they find a way not just to be on the team, but to carve out a role on the team and now to be named a starter. What did it take for you to get to that point?
Mm-hmm. And a lot of it goes with the brotherhood, like I was saying earlier, just having those dudes that I love so much and not wanting to leave them. And again, just accepting that you have nothing against me as a player and that I was doing what was best for the team definitely put me above that hump and helped me to stay.
Okay.
Yeah, just accepting my role.
and the Lakers are really glad that you did, buddy. Couple more questions. Okay, what is your pregame ritual?
Pre-game ritual, I listen to some kind of chill music for the Laker walk up to about 20 minutes before game time, and then I'll turn on some of that hard rock that I know you like.
Yeah.
Just kind of get those goosebumps going.
There we go. You watched film with me last night, and we did some stuff, and I made you listen to some heavy metal, which was probably unique for you. Okay.
Definitely.
Give me really quick. I got 2 minutes here. What I got? Yeah, all right. We'll keep rolling. Give me a GVSU offensive player that you like to compete against, and why.
I'll go Sion Uzma-Harper. He's always fun. I've gone against him a lot in lead blocking, and again, Brett Weaver. There's so many dudes that have made me just a much better football player.
Okay.
But Sion for sure.
Okay. And you had mentioned some of your friends and your roommates. You've lived with Riley Simpson probably the most.
Yeah.
Who else? Who are some of your other roommates that you live with right now?
Riley's currently the only football player on the team. There's been a lot of guys that have that I've lived with and came and went.
Okay. So in terms of that, you and Riley, right? Who is the clean one? Who is the dirty one? Who leaves the dishes? Who cleans the dishes? Go.
I think we're pretty good. I'll give Riley props. I'll give flowers when they're due.
Okay.
But I'll take the heat just because I know he'll give me some crap for it.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's the extent of my questions. If I had like 30 seconds, I could give him a doozy. Okay, away we go.
Go
All right,
for it, Coach.
Let's just see if you got this. Our defense has a code. That code is 11 as 1. Give me the 3 pillar words of our code, 11 as 1.
Together, grit, and consistent.
He nailed it. There we go. Coach Lewis is giving him an A tonight. Tommy Barnett, from Wheaton, Warrenville South, senior. Got to come out and watch this dude play. He's been in jersey 53 his whole career. All these other guys switch jersey numbers every other year, it seems like. And dang proud of this guy, Steve. So we're excited. Come and watch him play, man. You'll be glad you did.
Absolutely. Tommy, thanks for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Great to hear from you. That's Tommy Barnett, linebacker for the Lakers. When we come back, it'll be head coach Scott Wooster rejoining me to talk about Black Hills State, the next opponent for Grand Valley, as we continue here in the Grand Valley Sports Network. Wooster rejoining me. I'm Steve Lloyd-Jones. Great to have you with us. And a couple of notes about Saturday. That's a 7 o'clock start. It will also be on the WXSP on the TV side. And I want to make note of that. We're the radio guys, but we got to promote TV too. You know how that goes. But this is
team guy, Steve.
That's
You're a
right.
Team guy.
That's right. It's the Lakers against Black Hills State. That'll be the first opponent, our first time rather, that these teams have played, and it's going to be 616 night. So that'll be something to enjoy, and you're going to want to wear vintage blue, kind of the lighter blue there for the Lakers. So try to wear that. Black Hills State. Let's talk about them, Coach. 0-1. And out of the RMAC, they lost 27-21 to the University of Sioux Falls in their first game. But pretty good offense coming in here, looking at what they did in week 1.
No question. And, you look at them historically as this head coach has been there, and it's been that 7-4, 6-5, right on the cusp. And, again, going back to the Open when we talked about our history with the RMAC, knowing exactly what that conference is, playing Colorado School of Mines, Colorado State Pueblo. As you watch a couple of those games from last year, they should have beat Colorado State Pueblo, and that was a top 10 team that, we had the Hands team on the field late in that game a year ago. So know exactly what they're capable of. Coach Lewis alluded to it a little bit. The quarterback-centric piece of things, right, and the quarterback and the impact on that. We talked about with Andrew Schuster and Brady Drogosh just a few minutes ago. He's a good player and has a live arm. They opened up the game last week. I think they threw 3 state streaks, go balls down the field, but really quick release, gets the ball out. He's a big, athletic kid. They'll get into a couple different personnel groupings, 20, 11, 12, playing a little bit of 10. And for the listening audience at home, when we use those, so essentially the first number is the running back, second number is the tight end. Subtract that from 5, and that's how many wide receivers. So they'll get into 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers, a tight end, a running back, 3 wide receivers, some 12 personnel, and I think they've got a complete package out of each one of those personnel groupings. So fairly multiple. They do some unique, I'll use that word, Steve, unique things up front in terms of protecting the quarterback. Be sure to talk to our officiating crew beforehand, but some unique ways to protect the quarterback. They're explosive. Coach Lewis mentioned wide receiver. They got a transfer from Wayne State that we're familiar with, but they have some athletes out there, some length out there, and they can put some points up.
Yeah, and by way of the points, quarterback Luke Doobie completing 24 of 36 last week, 248 yards, 3 scores. TJ Chikora, the wide receiver, 10 grabs, 109 yards. So I was talking about that with Jim Lewis a bit. But defensively, this group, linebacker Rune Teppel led the team with 9 tackles. Terrence Curtis, Beto Ledemsma added 8 tackles apiece. So they can get to the football as well as linebackers.
No, and that defense, extremely well coached. They're going to be in the spot they're supposed to be in, doing the job they're supposed to do. You watch them on tape. It's a 4-2-5, so 4 down, 2 linebackers, 5 defensive backs, quarters coverage. So essentially 4 DBs have a quarter of the field, and extremely disciplined. Like I said, they know where they're supposed to be, and they do their job. They've got the guy to me up front is 99. Keep an eye on him. Very disruptive, plays the nose guard. Extremely disruptive, high motor guy, sideline to sideline. Big, thick, physical guy that really gets after it. And, when you have a guy like that, then those linebackers can run and make plays. But watching them, just from a run game standpoint, fitting the run, again, they're gapped out, and it's clean on the back end. They've got everyone covered down, and they do a really, really good job defensively.
Yeah, well, stout, as you say, and used to facing teams that throw the ball, too.
Sure.
They are MAC. I mean, you're going to see
Mines,
quarterbacks
Pueblo,
throw it around.
Western Colorado a year ago, right? Yeah. There's extremely high level offense in that conference. They're well prepared for four high-powered offenses. There's no question about it.
Well, and they have, correct me if I'm wrong, but they've got a little extra preparation time because they played Thursday, the 28th. You guys playing on the 30th. So a little bit of time, a little bonus time for them on the prep. They'll make the trip, however. But, first time ever having faced them, another week like that. And you don't have a ton of as you say, a ton of stuff to be able to know or look at because it's only been 1 week.
1 week, yep. And the other part, too, the third phase of the game, they had a kickoff return for a touchdown called back. So that's the other part where extremely well coached, and they are good on special teams, right? So that'll be a battle going back and forth, just a field position element of it, and maybe win those big plays and special teams as well. But they had one called back just like we did a week ago. So some explosion back there in the kickoff return. They got a really good punt returner. But yeah, fun fact, like I did not know this. This is bad by me. We were going to take a trip out west. My wife Christina, she did that right when they finished college, like did the Yellowstone all the way out, right? I didn't know Mount Rushmore was in the Black Hills. I just Google searched and found that out, right? So Spearhead, South Dakota, right on the Wyoming border there, is right at the base of the Black Hills, and that's where Mount Rushmore is apparently.
Yes.
So
very good.
That's my fun fact about
Nice.
Black Hills State and the Black Hills.
All right. Well, when we come back, we're going to get to the Berger Chevrolet key to the win as the Lakers try to knock out Black Hills State week 2 as Grand Valley will host them, the Yellow Jackets, there at Lovers Stadium. We'll be right back to wrap things up after this on the Grand Valley Sports Network. outside the Main Street Pub in Allendale. It's time for the Berger Chevrolet Key to the Win, where head coach Scott Wooster gives us the biggest factor that's going to determine this week's game. Coach, how do you see it?
Yeah, I think there's this old adage in coaching, the greatest growth, the greatest improvement from game 1 to game 2. And I think who makes that greatest growth and improvement? Obviously, we're late in the week, but who has that week of preparation? Because you look at both opening games, and we talked about ours in depth. Their opening game, they play Sioux Falls. It's a one-score game. I just referenced they had a kickoff return for a touchdown called back. But I was extremely, extremely impressed with Sioux Falls quarterback. Made some massive plays in that game to get ahead and stay ahead. So I really think it came down to this week of preparation, right? And last thing I want to say is just Laker Nation, thank you coming out 1 p.m. Labor Day weekend, 12,000 strong, and then let's party and lovers again. We'll have a party in the backfield when we're on defense, party in the end zone when we're on offense, but let's party and lovers 616 night, wear your vintage blue and show out. It's going to be fun, lighting up lovers Saturday night, 7 p.m.
That's right. Going to be a little on the chilly side, maybe upper 50s, low 60s as you get things going, but will be fun. Black Hill State, the opponent, coming up on Saturday at 7 at Lover Stadium, again on the TV side, WXSP. Our thanks tonight to Jim Lewis and Tommy Barnett for joining us. I'm Steve Lloyd-Jones for head coach Scott Wooster. I'm Steve. Thanks for listening tonight right here on the Grand Valley Sports Network. So long, everybody.